There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Welcome to Caneswear.
New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Oh, it is Tuesday, 7 p. Only one place to be, and that's right here. It's the Squared Circle Digest. I am Sean Stanley. That gentleman down there, Vamos Colombia, Mr. Frankie Fresco. How we doing, sir?
We're doing good, man. Blessed to be here. Blessed to be able to do the podcast with you today, and we got a lot to talk about, man.
We do, and don't forget, please hit that like button as much as you can. Hit the subscription button, Stanley Media House Network YouTube channel, also the Frankie Fresco YouTube channel. If you're watching us on X, jump on over to the YouTube. Let's have some chats. Also, you should be able to chat from the X as well. So if you want to jump in on the debate, I believe there's going to be some heated topics here today from AEW side, WWE side. We're going to get down to the nitty and gritty today. Let's see. It is a shame, Frankie. Colombia is super fun to watch. Feisty.
Can I say something?
Yeah, no. I know I didn't want to get started until I know what I saw in the chat earlier. You said you had posted that you were going to get something off your chest. You got the first couple minutes, sir.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, first and foremost, look, guys, obviously I don't usually wear Colombia stuff on the show, but I want to represent my country as best as I can. I know that what a lot of people did on Sunday was not the right thing to do. If you obviously have heard the news, there was a lot of controversy with a lot of people breaking into the stadium. I, for one, obviously was not one of them. I obviously paid a ticket. I obviously went out there, and I'm going to talk about it more on the Let Me Talk to You podcast tomorrow with my brother. I'm going to see if I could get a guest as well. But I do want to go ahead and let you guys know that, what happened over there was not something that should represent every Colombian. I mean, there was a lot of my friends out there that paid a lot of money, that went there with the intentions of enjoying a great soccer game, two great countries playing, two powerhouse teams, because I still have I'm still going to say I know Colombia's a powerhouse, and the reason I say Colombia's a powerhouse is because the world champion of the Copa America, the last one, and the World Cup the World Cup champion Argentina, it took them extra time to beat Colombia. If you're not a powerhouse, then you wouldn't take the champions to the brink of elimination, right? And unfortunately, it didn't go our way. But I just want to go ahead and say, look, I that doesn't represent us. We are very, very down to earth, humble people. Colombians are not like that, and we're. It's unfortunate. I apologize. I know I wasn't one of them, but I apologize for my people, because at the end of the day, it was a lot of my people out there who were doing things, and I'll go into detail as to what happened. I'll also go ahead and show you videos and photos, because I do have all that on record. I went with my dad, so it wasn't easy, because my dad, as I said on the chat, he's 72 years old, and I gave this as a gift. So it was fun, but at the same time it was a little bit difficult. But like I said, we'll talk about it. Sean, if you have any questions to ask me about it, tell me. I'll be more than happy to.
No, I'm going to
answer
jump in
questions that you
tomorrow.
might have.
We'll discuss that tomorrow, because it could probably take up 3 or
Cloud
4
the show.
of our hours here on this
Probably
show
will.
talking about that. 'Cause,
But thank you.
I mean,
Thank you
it
for
was
the
a
thank you
wild
for giving me
thing.
that minute to
No,
talk.
of course, man. Of course. All right. Now, I don't know how the best way to transition, but you'd be like, now that we got that out of the way. I'm just kidding. So we go from, I guess, what the best way to do is just go straight to WWE, right?
Yeah, let's go from controversy to more controversy, right?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's start again. Our show is every Tuesday, so we start the wrestling week tonight. NXT going around. Listen to the Let Me Talk to You podcast. They discuss more of the NXT. I break down kind of a recap here on the Stanley Media House. So make sure you check out Frankie and his bro tomorrow. Cat for Life is in. Let's go with the first thing that I had. Let's go back towards SmackDown and the Bloodline Cody. I know I did a SmackDown reaction show afterwards, and I already know that, everything that Frankie's probably going to say right here. But from the SmackDown, from the Cody angle, what's your thoughts, man?
If you obviously saw Sean's recap on Friday, I was on the chat, and I specifically said it. I hate the fact that they make Cody Rhodes so weak, and I hate the fact that he comes out like a little bee. I want him to be. I know he's a baby face. I know you need to knock him down and then to get back up, but he's a champion. He doesn't. I could understand them beating him down and stuff like that, but I sometimes feel like they take it a little bit too extra, like holding him in the ropes and stuff like that. I know it's hard to get off of the ropes and all that, but come on, man! Like, you're Cody Rhodes, you're the WWE champion. Like, come on, man!
But they're making it where they're taking out, Randy Orton right in front of them. You're gonna watch us destroy everybody. That's I guess I don't know if the right wording means anything to you, but everybody that would have your back, they're gonna take out. KO wasn't there, and Randy was. So now my thinking is this week on SmackDown. Here's the interesting thing. This Friday, they do SmackDown, but they're also recording the following week SmackDown because they go to Japan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of set them up. Because you're going to get the results before. There's no way that nobody's going to not leak the spoilers if you want to know, So it's going to be, and I don't know, I'm guessing they're going to record maybe some before and some after. So maybe they do, but again, I don't know if you do everything on a Friday. I don't know how you do everything on a Friday if you're going to have, or unless you just say what happens on this SmackDown, we kind of flip it on the next one and not have anything. Because like if Cody gets laid out on the live SmackDown, how do you go back and record him coming back live right out for a taping to be like, hey guys, how we doing? Hi. Learning tree there for those that didn't pick up on it,
Yeah.
But
I would assume that this weekend they're gonna take out Kevin Owens. That's what I assume that they're gonna do.
That's where I was trying to get to. I was thinking is this week it's KO.
Yeah.
And then you've got supposedly Cody by himself. And then I believe the storyline going into, because when I looked at it, I believe there's two Raws, so there's got to be 2 SmackDown, or well, 3 counting the one this week. Correct. This week, and then 2 more heading into which one will be a taped, and then so we'll get the live one heading into SummerSlam weekend.
You know, that's a good question from No Doubt. Does the crowd get 2 SmackDowns?
That's where I don't know how they're gonna do it, man. I don't know if they're just gonna do like kind of like what you've been to Dynamite tapings, and they used to have like the dark tapings a little bit beforehand, and then they'd throw a couple more matches after the live show. So I don't know exactly how they're gonna do it, but ultimately I believe they're gonna get 2. Yeah.
Well, the way it would work in AEW is that they would do obviously Dynamite live. They would do 2 dark matches to begin the show. Then you had Dynamite, and then after Dynamite, they would go straight into Rampage and just record Rampage for obviously the Friday.
I think what you'll get is probably a couple matches taped for SmackDown before, kind of like your warm-up matches, which is normally like Heat and those, and then you'll get the rest after the taping goes off the air.
My question is, what will be the ending of that second taping of SmackDown?
That's my whole thing. Like, I don't know how they do it.
Unless
the only thing I can think of is if you take KO out this week, the ending is pretty much Cody by himself because he's got nobody to watch his back. I feel like the storyline going into this is Solo has taken everybody that has Cody's back out. And that's where Roman Reigns comes in.
I mean, the only thing
he's got Cody's back, but that, there's going to be, right when you think Cody has nobody to back him up, there comes Roman's music. Not necessarily to be Cody's buddy, but to take out Solo.
I'm assuming that the way they would end the second taping would probably be something like what they did last time when they had Solo and the Bloodline, and they had like a kind of like a montage already built, and they just played it at the end. So something like that where they're raising their fingers.
Maybe they don't even have like you're saying, like, Solo and them aren't even at the SmackDown. They've taken everybody away from Cody. Cody calls them out, and then you see it play on the top, like what you're saying.
Correct.
And then boom, and then they go out.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right way to do it. That way you don't spoil the fans.
And then you got one live show leading right into the weekend in Cleveland.
Nice.
This will be the last one. So
very nice.
We'll have to see where they go from there. Trying to think anything else on Smack. Oh, LA Knight, Logan Paul, kind of it's official, going to be at SummerSlam.
I'm pretty sure he'll sign the contract this weekend because he's going to be on SmackDown.
I love the fact that I was upset. I swear to you, I when they were walking to leave and Bayley was laid out, I said, if they do not have her attempt to cash this thing in, I'm going to yell. And then she stops and she sits there for a minute. And then she walks back over. And then Nia comes lumbering over, looks at her, and she's like, oh, no, I wasn't going to do anything. At least they teased it, man, because there's no way if you have that briefcase and the champion is laid out, that it doesn't come into your head that, hey, I could be the champion.
For me, I wasn't paying too much attention about her having the briefcase until she kind of stopped in the ropes, and then I was like, oh crap, I forgot that she does have the briefcase on her and she could just use it. And it was good. It was good that they teased it, and unfortunately she did not take advantage of it. But we'll see where they go with that, because I think it's going to be good.
I said that they've been using social media phenomenal, I believe. They showed clips in Mexico City of her attempting to cash in again, and it was foiled by Bianca, and I forgot whoever else was in the match, but they foiled another attempt of her trying to cash it in during the Mexico City and Monterrey shows. So,
yeah, that was really cool of WWE going to Mexico. I saw some interviews that were being done on the WWE, I guess, Spanish type of version, I guess, like Latin, and it was very interesting. They had, Dom Mysterio going against Rey Mysterio, and then you also had Sami Zayn out there as well. So I saw a couple of them. And
Stephanie Vacour? The new sign,
Stephanie,
Couture.
yes. It didn't get a pop as big of a pop as I thought it was gonna
Well,
get, but
because
it's not Mexican,
that's
right?
a WWE crowd. It got a good, okay pop for people that
Yeah.
that didn't, it. But again, it's the WWE kind of crowd. But it's very interesting, that whole Stephanie Couture situation, man.
Very
I mean,
talented.
so talented, and the fact that have you heard like the timeline of how everything happened?
No.
Okay, remember now, she was the strong weight champion in NJPW, which she lost to Mercedes Monet at Forbidden Door. And by the way, it's come out, and again, I know I'm going off of other people's sources here. She got left at the airport like CM Punk did.
Wow. If that really did happen, it's a shame.
And then she went to the NXT pay-per-view this following week. But she left the NXT pay-per-view thinking she was signing with AEW. Then she got a phone call from the one and only Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Anybody that's heard her story knows that she got a tryout, I believe it was like 10 years ago in Turkey. WWE flew her in early so she could spend time with her family that she had there, and flew her out a day later so she could stay and be there with her family, and gave her the tryout. And she's always wanted to be. And again, that's the one thing too that I think a lot of people forget about is AEW is only 5 years old. Anybody that's been in the business, WWE was, it's either WWE or Japan was your like goals.
Yep.
So again, and then you get Shawn Michaels to call you personally, not Shawn Michaels' assistant, not anything else. You answer the phone and it's Shawn Michaels saying, hey, come to NXT. Here's what we're going to do with you. Here's your creative. This is what we're going to do. And then we're going to do this and that. And then here's the contract. And she went and she signed the contract. And then the other thing was she was supposed to appear in Mexico with the other group that weekend, but she was with WWE. She dropped all the titles, said, hey, I'm not going to be able to make the rest of it.
Well, we could obviously assume that WWE was watching Mercedes Moné versus her.
Well, she's been there, but yeah. I mean, that match. If you didn't think that she could be a star after watching that match, dude, got things for you, man.
That's the reason why that's why they called her, because they were like, "Yo, this girl's talented. Let's bring her over." And she wanted to be in WWE. Obviously, at one point,
it's probably been a dream, man. And apparently, like Tony gave her a good offer, but again, a lot of the people that have been around and things like that have been fighting trying to get to WWE. I've been fighting to get to AEW. Now the newer, talent coming in now might be like, I want to wrestle for AEW. Now that might change things.
Yep.
So that was an interesting thing there. Let's jump over now to Raw. Not much happened on Raw this week. I mean, it's rather boring show. I mean, they did have Mommy opens the show, coming out of the elevator, walking to the ring. They did the old Black Rose trick with good old Dom there coming out. Mommy, I'm sorry, Mommy.
Yep.
Liv doing her best antagonist. My goodness, man, dude. I love this Liv. I do.
What was she wearing, man? She had a cool shirt that looked all wet and stuff, but that was actually built that way. That whatever she was wearing.
Wait. Oh, wait. I was about to say, I wonder if but I forgot she came out later on in the night. Because again, she was like, I'm sorry for my voice. I was in Mexico and, I'm a screamer and hi, Daddy Dom. I loved it, dude. It's just like,
it makes you think it makes you think, why was she screaming,
Exactly, man. But here goes my issue with the way it happened on Raw. And again, if you watched Raw, you know how everything went down. So we're not going to sit here and kind of go over everything and this and that. But here's my issue with the Rhea Ripley, Dom, Judgment Day type thing. All right. So they come out on the air and Dom says, I've been trying to reach you all week. And Rhea says, well, what about the 3 weeks I've been out? Bam. Then they come back in also again, and it's Finn talking to her. And he's like, look, I know Liv helped us win the tag titles. And she's like, that's all right. They're home where they belong. Now it's time for me to get my title. And then later on in the night, she tells Dom, nobody owns mommy, you're mine, basically. I'm not yours, you're mine. And gives him the flower. Why is there no repercussions going on? I mean, I get it. We're still lots of Raws to go and everything else. But why did it feel like last night they just kind of trying to put everything away as everything's fine between Rhea and the Judgment Day? Hell no. I've been out for 3 months. Nobody's called me except for Damian Priest. I'm raising hell. I would have thrown that PS5 through the damn TV. I would have kicked Carlito's ass out until I knew what the hell he was doing in there. I would have raised hell.
I like what they did last night.
Of course you did.
I like what they did last night, and I'll tell you why. I eventually feel that this Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan match is not going to end in SummerSlam. I think it will continue past SummerSlam. So I think they're going to fight. They're going to wrestle twice. They're going to wrestle there, and then they'll eventually wrestle maybe at the next PLE. If you noticed a lot of things that happened, obviously at the beginning, Liv came out. Obviously, she came in the screen and she accepted her challenge and all that stuff. Dom was acting like, yo, I miss you. I love you. This is who I want to be with, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
And you see that she's giving him the cold shoulder. Now, I kind of noticed something. When Jey Uso came and challenged, mentioned that to, Rhea Ripley, that he wanted to talk to her, that she's single and all that stuff, to Damian Priest and Dom.
Yeah,
and Dom
she's
got
single and ready to mingle.
And Dom was upset. And then they went to the match. If you noticed something, was that Jey Uso was about to win that match. And the person who rescued him
was Liv
Morgan.
Yep.
And then if you continue to watch the match, Rhea Ripley was the one that told him, go back inside and finish the match. And it cost him the match.
They got the spear and then the thing. Yep.
So,
and then also when Rhea Ripley's leaving, she's looking back toward the ring. And if you watch Jey Uso in the ring, he's doing his little thing and he looks at her and says, call me. And she does this little smirk, smile type thing and then left.
So I think
all this was before she ends up telling Dom, I'm not yours, you're mine. So that match happened right before that situation also, just in case you haven't watched Raw, just so you know.
So in case what you're looking at there, you're looking at things. Liv Morgan has always been helping Dom Mysterio with all his matches, has been protecting him. Now all of a sudden, Rhea comes back, and now you have her costing Dom that match. On top of that, you go back to the backstage, and then she tells Dom, hey, look, you're not, I'm not yours, you're mine. And she gives him the flower or the rose.
Dom was happy.
I think that happiness is fake. I honestly think it's fake. I honestly feel
like she's buying the line. She's buying the bait that we've been
getting.
Getting.
You know who's faking it? I think it's Dom faking it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's smiling, like he's happy that he got the flower from her, but next it's like, I'm happy because now we fooled you, basically, or what he thinks they fooled her or whatever.
Well, I think those stories, this is my way of looking at it. I think what's going to happen is they're going to keep this going all the way into SummerSlam, and you're going to see Rhea cost Dom again another match. And then I think that's when Dom is going to start realizing, hold on a second. Liv Morgan, who I never wanted anything with her, has always helped me and it's benefited me. But when Rhea came back, it's always like it's been costing me a lot of things. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be like, hey, Liv is going to try to help him, save him, make him win matches, and Rhea's going to cost him and always lose matches. So to what No Doubt says, at the end of the day, I feel that in SummerSlam, eventually, Dom is gonna cost Rhea the championship belt. I think Liv Morgan will eventually retain the belt. Now, I'm not sure if it's gonna be on purpose or if it's gonna be by mistake. I think personally,
good.
I think personally, in my opinion, I think it's too early to make it like on purpose. So I think they're gonna run with this all the way to SummerSlam and make it seem like a mistake that he still do it. That way they could run it back on the next PLE, and then that's when you officially will see Dom turn on Rhea Ripley, and he'll join forces eventually with Liv Morgan. That's what I think it's gonna happen.
Yeah. See, this is the way I think it's gonna play out. This at SummerSlam. I agree with you. I think Dom is unknowingly going to cost Rhea the match because he's going to do it the same way he cost Zelina Vega the match, the same way he cost Becky the match. He's going to slide a chair in. Chair's going to be kind of in the middle. Liv's going to beat her like to the thing, maybe face plant her real quick in a quick 1, 2, 3. So it's not on purpose. It was an accident. And then, as you said, they can keep building it up. I 100% agree with it, but I still feel like, to me, they did 2 hours of cold shoulder Rhea, and then it was like, okay, we had our fun. Now we let Dom kind of off the hook. They let Finn off. Like, I understand you got bigger fish to fry with Liv and everything else, but I just felt like it was just hey, I'm just happy to be back. Thanks, guys. And it's just like, I think I would have been raising hell.
I think they
I'm
did
saying
that.
You got to go and beat everybody up. But remember, Liv bought them everything in that clubhouse, and not one thing was touched by Rhea. The chicken nugget platter, everything, just rip that shit out of there. Show your dominance. I'm back. That was my issue with it.
The only thing is that, remember, she has been staying in touch with Damian Priest. So Damian Priest, I'm assuming, has been keeping her up to date. Even though she did ask, what is Carlitos doing here? She obviously, if she didn't overreact and go crazy, I'm assuming that Damian Priest has kept her informed of
what Damian said. That's a long story. I'll tell you. I'll talk to you about it. Again, I agree. I get what you're saying, but still, it's like, this lady is raising hell in your life. Like, I just felt like they could have done a little bit more with it. And again, that's being very very nitpicky on it. Because again, you've got time to build it up. So not saying that, next week or something, it doesn't. Maybe someday, Finn says something and Rhea snaps or something else down the line, but we'll see how it goes. I just felt like, God, man, I was hoping Rhea was just going to come back and just be the eradicator and just raise hell. And at first I was like, okay, she's going to do it to Dom. And then it slowly started like,
Well, I think this is also a sign of them showing that Dom and Rhea might be in that triangle where there's going to be some separation, but that doesn't necessarily mean the Judgment Day is falling apart.
No, yeah, I agree with that. And then also, but Damian, he was the instigator in all this, man. If you watched him, every time it was Dom and him, it was like, oh, you lost in front of Rhea. Oh, speak of the devil. Boom, and he said something in, I think in Spanish, the one time when they're in the clubhouse.
Yeah, he said huepa.
Oh, is that okay? And then he just walked away. So
huepa means like, oh, like that. That's basically what it means. It's kind of like a catchphrase. Oh. So, but that, again, I think if there's one thing I got from last night's show was that Damian Priest's character was phenomenal last night. He hit in every point when it came to the Judgment Day and when it came to the whole Gunther
promo with Gunther, the match with Braun. It was
looks like
a great night for him, man.
And it looks like they're making him obviously the baby of this match, and they want to make him the baby of Judgment Day.
Yep.
And I think they hit it.
He's becoming more personable in the Judgment Day.
People are liking him.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying though. But he's got a little bit of the comedy, but not too much where it's like, oh, gee, this is a little bit over the top. So he's got his little the little catchphrases and the interactions you see. Yeah, they're building them up. They're building them up right. I like it. And you know what? What's funny is, if you asked me 2 months ago, I'd have been like, they're saving this for Gunther. I don't know necessarily yet. I want to see the build to SummerSlam, but I don't know that Gunther wins the title.
Well, that's another thing. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, I don't know, because he's gaining momentum.
Yeah, you asked me 2 months ago. I'm saying he's holding the belt for Gunther. But you talk to me today, I'm saying not so fast, my friend.
I agree. I think I right now, at the beginning, when they obviously announced the fight, I thought I would say maybe 90-10
Yeah,
that
probably.
Gunther was going to win. But now it's getting a little bit closer.
Actually, when he won King of the Ring, I was like 90-10.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
You know what I didn't realize is, like, he hasn't been around. Like, they've been doing great packages with them. The whole projector, turning it on, how he's better than everybody, how WWE's begged him to come because they don't want people like, Priest representing them, and they need him to represent, it's coming across great. And then when he does come out and when he speaks, it's perfect delivery, man. And Damian was with them step for step, man. He's gotten so much better on the mic, man.
He has, man. And I think what they did last night when they were one-on-one was that he was kind of showing his underdog side. I've worked my ass off to make it here.
Blue collar.
The crazy thing about it, not only that it represents the blue collar, but it also represents, I'm not going to lie to you, the Latino community. A lot of the Latino community, isn't blessed to have millions of dollars. They have to work hard to earn it, right? So I felt that from him. I felt that he was going ahead and he was trying to connect with his own people, with the Puerto Rican fans, with all the Hispanic fans.
Yeah.
And then let's not go ahead and remove the credit where credit is due. Gunther did an amazing job putting it down, saying, yo, you might be a hard worker.
He's the perfect freaking snob, dude.
He did a phenomenal job because in order for that chemistry to work,
the way he enunciates certain things and just like, I'm better than you, not stealing a tagline, but he's just like, I'm better than thou. Like, whatever you say, I'm that much better than you. And I agree with you when he says, and that's where I think he's coming from, though, too. Damian Priest is bringing and digging down to personal stuff. Again, maybe that was part of the promo where maybe they talked about it in the back, and Damian was like, "Hey, bring my parents into this. Let me feel that in the ring," and it brings something, because it was just an odd line, but it added to the story element of it to where it became personal. When he was like, "It's not my fault that your parents, didn't want you to have everything or didn't get you everything," and he's just running it down, as you were saying. It's very. It felt like, okay, we're gonna make this very, very personal, and Damian reached down and just, I thought he delivered 100% on that.
Absolutely, man. And then, like you said, Gunther is the best heel to go along with him because he's being a jerk. He's basically putting down everything that he's accomplished. And I mean, if you didn't get offended, if you're a blue collar individual, then damn, because we weren't blessed to be, making all that money and get ready and become a superstar like Gunther was. So it was a amazing, very, very good segment between
great
those two.
Great back and forth, man.
Correct.
Great back and forth. Let's go ahead and let's jump down to the we'll skip the one that I had next after that. All right. I believe it was last week or the week before, somebody on this show said, I believe they're going to do a triple threat match at SummerSlam between 3 individuals.
That was
me.
me.
The person on the show said, no damn way. And I'm starting to think this person was wrong.
You always think I'm wrong. And now I finally am proving you right, sir.
No, I think, man, it's like, I read something and I found this interesting. And I'm talking about Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins, for anybody that hadn't picked it up. And the man right there, Frankie Fresco, said that he looks like it. He believes it might be a triple threat at SummerSlam. I was like, no way. With everything they've done, to me, it still doesn't make a lot of sense. I understand where they're going with it, and I get it, but I read something the other day and it made me wonder. It was like, is Seth Rollins in there in case CM Punk doesn't get cleared? And then I thought about it and I said, why are you running anything with CM Punk if you don't think it's going to get cleared? Like, why would you do any of this if you don't think he's going to get cleared? Like, you have, you should have, if you didn't think he was going to get cleared, it never should have got physical. You never should have gotten it to the physical part that it's gotten to. And after last night now, Drew was told, you apologize, you're reinstated, you get your match with CM Punk. He wouldn't do it. He throws the referees again. He gets in Pierce's face. Seth Rollins music hits. He comes in. He pounds on him a little bit. They fight back and forth. He powders out. Well, he goes for the stomp and he powders out. And like, they've added Seth into this. Like, there's no taking him out of it now. Like, he's there. It's got to be a triple threat.
Well, there was two reasons why I said that they might put it in a triple threat. The first reason is there is no other wrestler for Seth Rollins in the storyline for him to be left out of SummerSlam.
Yeah, you could come up with something, man.
You could, but they weren't, because remember, it was all the situation with Damian Priest, Seth going ahead and looking at CM Punk and wanted to pick a fight with CM Punk, and then the whole CM Punk and him interaction. So you were building everything to be Seth and CM Punk now, and I'm like, but where's Drew into this? And then now you have Drew and Seth. So I always felt there's no way that they could just leave Seth out of it. I think that's.
Let me ask you this: could they keep Drew suspended till SummerSlam and you bring Punk back to verse Seth first?
I wouldn't want to see.
And then
Seth
McIntyre destroys both of them. Like, I don't. To me, and again, man.
Well, Punk is announcing something on SmackDown. He's live on SmackDown this Friday.
Yeah, he's probably gonna announce that he's cleared, and then. But still, to me, it's this. You have done all of this since Royal Rumble, when Drew put the tombstone and he kneels beside it, and then you've done everything that's been Punk and Drew, and now you just throw Seth in 3-4 weeks. I mean, I get the last pay-per-view 4 weeks before. Now you add Seth to it. Like, I don't know, man. It's going to be a hell of a match regardless, but storyline-wise, to me, it's just like, it seems like a hiccup, man.
Well, like I said, I honestly thought that was one of the main reasons. Now, the second reason I felt that they might bring this match into a triple threat match, I'm saying it today, is because of what you just mentioned. Something's telling me that maybe CM Punk is cleared, but he could get hurt again. And I think by making it a triple threat match, it's a safety type of match in case he does. Where, if he's hurt, then all of a sudden you could run Drew McIntyre and Seth in the background, and CM Punk doesn't have to do too much. And something's telling me that this injury for CM Punk is more than what we thought it was. And I think
it tore the tricep completely off the bone. So I don't know how that is different than other ones. I've never had a tricep in it, but it tore completely off the bone.
So it just feels like what you just finished saying, that it's kind of like a safety net. Now, the only thing I will say this, I do feel Punk is going to clear. I just feel that just to play it safe, they want to put all three of them there. Now, who's to say that maybe, Seth turns on CM Punk and all of a sudden the crowd turns on Seth Rollins, and now you might get a heel as Seth Rollins. That could be a possibility as well. Because remember, if you put those three together, the baby faces are CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Now, who is the crowd going to choose? Seth, or are they going to choose CM Punk between those two? That's why I don't see them fighting one against the other. You have to include Drew McIntyre. And you're either going to see a turn where either Seth, CM Punk tries to do a move on Drew McIntyre and he accidentally hits Seth, or Seth does the same and hits CM Punk. And then all of a sudden you hear the crowd choose who is going to be the babyface in that triple threat match. whether it's CM Punk or Seth freaking Rollins. I think it's a clever idea for the WWE to make it a triple threat match. That way you allow.
Like you've taken away from everything that Drew and CM Punk did. That's just my take.
I wouldn't say you take it away because I feel like they're adding more to it. That's how I look at it.
No way, man. No way, dude.
Yeah, you are, man.
How are you adding? You're adding Seth to it, but you're not adding like you had the CM Punk Drew story. It was personal. And now you've thrown Seth in because CM Punk screwed him when he tried to screw Drew. And now like the whole story has been CM Punk screwing Drew.
Incorrect, sir. This whole story started in wasn't Royal Rumble.
Yeah, he snapped his arm in Royal Rumble with the
DDT.
DDT.
No, I'm sorry. Not Royal Rumble. Hell in the Cell?
Oh, you talking about when he came back and Seth did his thing on the thing there?
Correct. And Drew McIntyre was another one that was out there.
Both of them were upset. They were the two that were upset.
That's when that story started.
Okay, I can get that end of it if you want to throw Seth back in, but you're just throwing them back in. That's what I'm trying to say.
But that was
like it hasn't been three of them battling each other
because Seth
for the
was
last
hurt.
6 months. It had been Drew and CM Punk.
But Seth was hurt, so Seth had to come back. And now that Seth is back, the first thing you're gonna do is put him in a match where there's some type of storyline behind it because he didn't win the championship against Damian Priest. If he would have won, the moment I saw Damian Priest won that match, I said, you know what? This ain't happening, dude. They're going to go with Damian Priest and Gunther. So now they got to find a match for Seth Rollins. And it makes perfect sense because if you go back all the way to that Hell in the Cell, there you go. Or I think it was that Elimination Chamber. I think it was Elimination Chamber.
It wasn't Elimination. It was Hell in the Cell. It was War Games or whatever the hell it was.
Whatever it was called, yeah.
Because the match ended and it was War Games because he walked through the two things on the side. When he came out, CM Punk walked out.
Okay.
The between the two things there, it was like a War Games type match or whatever they did. But like I get it. I get that there's a story there, but there's a story anywhere. It just now you're adding that in to go back to that and you did them face to face. I wanted to see Drew and CM Punk just tear each other up. They finally get the opportunity and just tear each other up. And now you throw Seth into the mix.
But you make it seem like throwing Seth into the mix is like a bad thing. I see it as
it's not a
exciting
bad. The match is gonna be a banger.
But the tone in your voice doesn't sound like that. The tone on your voice
because
is like,
I was looking forward to finally seeing Drew and CM Punk get a hold of each other in a match, and now you've added Seth Rollins. It's a little bit. Let me see it play out. I know the match is going to be good with the three of them, but I wanted CM Punk and Drew just to beat the crap out of each other when they finally got to it. Now you're going to have Seth jumping in and Seth fighting Punk and Seth fighting Drew and Drew fighting Punk. And
well, remember they could make Seth a special guest referee or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
They could do that.
Yeah, but he's already fought. He got, in CM Punk's face and he punched Drew. Like you're past that point.
Not necessarily because he tried
to curb stomp him and he got out of the ring.
But that's why he has hostility against both of them. So if you put him as a guest referee, who is he gonna side with? Who is he gonna go ahead? Is he gonna call it straight? Is he gonna go ahead and side more with CM Punk, the guy who screwed him for a championship belt, or Drew McIntyre, who obviously he's just not getting along and not having a good moment with him?
So After Life thinks Seth might go after Punk. So
I mean, I just feel that Punk is just gonna get picked on by both of these guys. But
you know what's interesting is this. Let me tell you something. This might be the telltale sign also if the match happens before Damian Priest versus Gunther on how that match is going to go. Because if you turn Seth Rollins heel, your champion's probably going to be babyface.
That is true. That is true, and that's a way to go ahead and then
Or
remember.
if you turn Punk heel, or either way, whatever way you decide to
No,
go.
no.
To
Check
me, if
this
you
out.
make more heels, your face is staying champ.
Notice we're putting two and two together here. They're making Damian Priest more of a baby.
Yes.
Damian Priest and Seth actually said to each other, "Hey, let me handle Gunther,
Sure.
and then after that, I'll give you another
Give it
shot."
back to you. Yep.
So it makes perfect sense to make Seth a heel. That way he could go against Damian Priest after
Well,
he
to
does
me,
Gunther.
it would make more sense if Seth went heel in the match to beat Damian. When Damian thinks it's going to be a respect thing, then Seth goes full heel. Damian not expecting it. And not saying Damian loses right there, but I'm saying then it's like, or Seth gets so mad because Damian ends up winning again that he snaps like he did before. He's done it before. Seth's done that before where he snaps and then boom, heel.
I just think him
No,
being
it's a way that they could go.
him becoming a heel in SummerSlam, that's a big event. That's one of the top 4,
Yeah.
obviously, big PLE moments. So I agree. I think that's the right moment for them, whether it's in the triple threat or as a guest referee or whatnot.
I just don't like the fact if they make it a triple threat. I don't mind if he goes heel and he's a special enforcer and he called. But then again, if he costs Punk, why is Punk not going to cost him against Damian? We've already seen Punk hold grudges. Why wouldn't he hold that grudge if Seth costs him against Damian? You know what I'm saying? Like,
because then Drew, he has to handle Drew first.
But then you've got CM Punk having the feud with Drew, because no matter what happens in this match, if it's just a wrestling match or a fight or whatever, it doesn't end here. It's going to keep going.
Of course, that's
and then the same thing will happen with CM Punk and Seth. Now that'll keep going, and Damian will be the benefactor of everything, because to me this would be hilarious. But you could go, he beats Gunther at this pay-per-view.
SummerSlam.
I think the next one's Bad Blood. If he says, okay, Seth, I got past Gunther, now you're next. CM Punk costs him. He goes to the next pay-per-view, which is August, September. I don't know if there's one October. I know Survivor Series is November. Then he goes to the next big one, and it's CM Punk getting the title shot at Survivor Series, another big PLE, and Seth or Drew screws CM Punk. Now Damian keeps the title again. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could just keep this going to where Damian keeps the title to Royal Rumble.
Well, keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. Damian Priest already fought Drew. He'll fight Gunther. He would fight Seth Rollins, and then he would end his championship run with CM Punk. That would be a hell of a 4 wrestling.
Yeah, but I don't even think he loses to CM Punk, though, because I think by that point, that feud with Seth or the feud with Drew would be fire on fire right there. And I think they cost CM Punk the title.
So just I looked it up right now. Mm-hmm. SummerSlam is August the 3rd. The next pay-per-view is August the 31st, which is WWE Bash in Berlin.
Okay.
And then October the 5th. So they don't have any
Berlin.
They don't have anything. They don't have anything, I guess, in September except an NXT one. And then the next WWE main event.
Yeah, the August 31st is technically, I guess, the September one. If you want
yeah. And then the next big one for the main roster would be Bad Blood, October 5th.
Okay. So the Bad Blood, which that's where I think you get like CM Punk
versus Drew
and Drew,
or
whatever.
Drew, one of them. Yeah,
whatever.
You can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I can't talk myself into it. And the other reason I say this match a triple threat, because I feel like they're also building the IC title to a triple threat.
I do feel the same way because of
Braun,
Dragunov,
and Sammy. Like, I feel like how many triple threats we having on SummerSlam?
Remember, it's a SummerSlam show, man. It's big. You gotta make
everybody
it big.
Out there.
Go big or go home, my friend.
Go big or go home. Man. What else was there? Oh, the Wyatt 6. What did you think of this week's whole Chad Gable situation?
Okay, so I'm happy of what they did with the Wyatt 6.
Yay! Way to go, Wyatt 6. You got the okay from The man.
The only thing that I agree with you, because I wasn't able to catch your recap last night, but I watched the replay, and I agree with you 100% that they should have ended the show with the Wyatt Six.
After watching it again, yes. I even went back and watched it again to make sure, like, maybe I missed something during the main event that I didn't, but no, I still didn't.
100% they should have ended it. Now, the tape, I'm glad they used the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, see, I think that's what originally. I think they were going to do more of that, because it doesn't make sense to where they've had the Blue You Lied thing happen a few times and nothing happens.
Mhm.
Then they started bringing it out because Pat was out. I think they were going to instrumentally use the show more than what they have. And maybe they do as it goes, but I just feel like I liked it. I like it.
I'm happy that they finally continue to now showcase the rest of them.
Oh,
and
my
this
goodness,
was the first step.
Tell me you didn't have a tear in your eye listening to Rowan, bro.
Of course.
Oh, my goodness, man.
And they did a phenomenal job doing with that.
Phenomenal.
It was really good.
I lost my family in one poof. But then Bo reached out. I thought there was hope. Oh, God.
And
Pull
I
at
love
the heartstrings, my man.
I love the way they twisted it. And he's now like he has the second coming of his family, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. And this is what I wanted. I wanted them to start showcasing the rest of them.
Yeah,
and I wanted to continue to do it.
Out.
But they played it
thing
out
is-
for like 3 weeks in a row. Like,
Yes, because it was Bo Dallas, the main character. You've got to understand everything.
Okay,
with
I get
that.
it.
Because, again, remember, if you listen to the video, it's Eric Rowan talking to Uncle Howdy.
Yes.
Uncle Howdy's like the therapist here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like they're going to end up having like a therapy room or something, and you're going to walk in, it's Uncle Howdy there. Like, I love also the way it's just Bo Dallas in the flesh. Like, here's Bo Dallas. And then Chad Gable with, I figured it out. I am the genius. Bo Dallas is Uncle Howdy.
Now, did you get what he was telling Chad Gable at that point? But when he was laughing, did he say something to him?
Yes, he did. He grabbed, when Chad Gable grabs him by the face and he's looking at him, he's like, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? He looks right at Chad Gable and he said, there you are. There you are.
What does he mean by
that? I feel like we're kind of, we hit on it earlier where, like, is Chad Gable going to end up becoming a part of this? I think the end result of this whole thing is Chad Gable ends up becoming a part of the Wyatt Six.
But then how does that
make
with
how
the
it's
Creed brothers
into the story or anything there?
Yeah, because he had the Creed
here's the other
brothers.
thing. When you watch the three members of the Wyatt Six get on the apron, did you see what Chad Gable did?
Yeah, he left.
He was standing right beside the guys. He kind of took one step back and he dipped. And then the Creed brothers looked around for like a couple seconds, not long. They weren't there long by themselves. And then they left.
Wait. Are you insinuating that maybe, just maybe for a split second there, Chad Gable was feeding the Creed brothers to the Wyatt Six?
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just saying.
That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad way of looking
you gotta
at it.
take the lamb to the slaughter or the sheep to the slaughter?
That is interesting. I just don't know. Would Chad Gable be the right person to be part of that group? Do they need him?
I got to see how this rolls out. Like, I want to see, because Chad Gable as he is now, no.
But what you said is true. There he is, right? That's what he said.
Yeah,
like,
he says, "There you are, there you are," because it was the Chad Gable that got mad. When Chad Gable gets mad, he kind of like just flips out, and that's kind of what he did. Like, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? He was like, "There you are, there you are." And I got to go back and listen to some of the other tapes, because remember, he talks about, Gable's always said, everything's been about me. Everything he's been saying is about me.
Now
now I believe, like, there might have been something before that to where Bo Dallas, when he was talking to Uncle Howdy, might have laid out an egg that everybody might have missed.
Now, do you think in this storyline they might start including the Creed brothers more often?
No, they got to now because it's going to be the 6-man tag.
And then Chad
AC, Dexter, and Rollin against the three of them, I would think.
And then Chad turns on the Creed brothers? It's a lot of turning.
Does he turn on them? Or do the Creed brothers get tired of getting their butts whooped and then the family takes Chad Gable?
And
then all of a sudden Gable's off TV for a couple weeks. And then he comes back as whatever.
I'm going to say this. If Chad Gable takes a hiatus and comes back as part of the White Six, that's ballsy, man. That's ballsy because we've always known Chad Gable as, the Olympic guy with the Alpha Academy and all that stuff. For his character to completely change, this could be a hit or miss for him, bro.
We're just jumping through conclusions here, too, because of the way everything's rolling out. It could not be him. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It could be something completely different. Like when he said, there you are. It couldn't mean anything, man.
It does open doors, man. It does open doors because if he joins that White Six, then he could go after Alpha Academy with.
Every time he got beat down, he was laughing. Just like what Bray Wyatt used to do.
Yep.
Every time he was down, he'd just get up and he'd do the things. He got to the corner. Like, again, man.
Look what No Doubt says. I'm down for a Chad Gable transformation.
That's the thing.
Are you down?
And Cat for Life says, who the hell is going to be the sixth member? Like, I always thought, honestly, it would be Alexa Bliss, but I don't think that anymore. I think Nikki Cross has taken that part of the group over. Like, if you bring Alexa, what did you just bring her out to be the character that she was right before? I don't think it fits with this one.
No,
because there's more of the paranormal stuff, right? Because
where is Alexa Bliss right now?
Well, she got married, she had a baby, she hasn't come back. Apparently, she's working on an in-ring return. They showed her doing her Twisted Bliss. Okay. They showed her working and doing her move that way. So, again, I don't know. Maybe she becomes a member of Chad's group, but you got Ivy Nile. Never mind, that won't work either.
And I forgot to mention something before on the last thing that we were talking about. Yeah. Just going for a split second back to the Drew McIntyre. Hey, you know what? I was so happy that Drew went ahead and, he didn't apologize. I mean, didn't you feel like they were belittling Drew McIntyre? Like making him apologize to the referees? Adam Pearce, who does he think he is, man?
Well, here's the thing.
Making him apologize to referees.
In the ring. It wasn't done in the ring. It was done outside the ring.
It doesn't matter. You don't make Drew McIntyre apologize to some referees.
You know what's funny is the way Drew McIntyre's character is the same as Hangman Adam Page's character. They don't think they're doing anything wrong. They think they're clean in all this. It's everybody else against me. Everybody else is doing the wrong to me. It's not me doing the wrong. I'm doing the right stuff, but because you're doing the wrong stuff to me, I'm still the good guy.
I agree 100% with that. I agree 100% with that. Drew McIntyre has not done anything wrong. They've screwed him over. Now, I'm a CM Punk fan, but CM Punk has screwed him over.
Yeah.
How is it? You're going to allow...
But you can't lay your hands on an official in a ring or out of the ring.
But an official allowed CM Punk to wear a referee.
Into a post-match or post-wrestling thing, and you started yelling and going off the rails about CM Punk, I know where your family lives. He
didn't break into it. He just lost a little bit of his control. And that's okay. Sometimes you lose control.
Drew McIntyre an invited guest to that show?
He was... He made himself
like those Columbia fans that didn't pay for tickets, right?
He made himself a guest, and as he made himself a guest,
they made themselves guests.
But Drew McIntyre has been getting screwed
I'm not saying
leading
that
to
he's
that.
wrong for
Just like
feeling.
Colombia's been getting screwed for many years.
I'm not saying that he's wrong for feeling the way he feels, but once you throw an official that has nothing to do with this, look, if you grab CM Punk and you rip his arm off and you beat him with it, I'm good with it. But you threw an official that has nothing to do with this.
Did it? No, of course they have something to do with it. The official gave CM Punk a shirt of a referee. That way he could go ahead and screw him.
Either one of the two officials.
It doesn't matter. They all work cohesive. They all work as a group.
Oh, goodness gracious.
They all work as a group.
You're the conspiracy theory guy,
I'm not a conspiracy theory guy. They all work as a group. I think it was the girl that gave him the.
It was the girl. It was Jessica Carr. Yeah.
There you go. So she probably, and they could spin it this way too.
Wait a minute. Jessica Carr was trained by the Dudley Boys. I wonder if Bubba is involved in all this.
He could be. Isn't he in TNA? Is it NXT working with TNA? Good.
I'm telling you.
I just can't believe that Adam Pearce was making Drew McIntyre apologize to these guys.
It's Adam Pearce think he where you say you're sorry or you're still suspended. He knew he wasn't going to say it, so he's still suspended.
So why couldn't he just make him say, I'm sorry, backstage then? Why did he have to bring him out in the ring and make him look like a fool? Make him look like a little person out there instead of who he is, Drew McIntyre. The Scottish Warrior.
He said Drew.
They were making him the Scottish.
I need you to do one more thing.
They were making him guys. He was making him look like the Scottish Scottish out there.
All he had to say, even if he did it, like he just said, like, sorry. Do it in a Drew McIntyre. I'm sorry. Done. You ain't gotta be like, gentlemen, I am so sorry that I injured your left big toe. He didn't have to do all that. He just had to say, sorry. That's it.
It's ridiculous. He didn't have to say sorry. He didn't do nothing wrong to them.
Oh my goodness, you're that guy. You're that guy. I did nothing wrong.
He didn't do nothing wrong. They're against him all the way. And you look, man. I'm like I told you, man. I'm a CM Punk fan, but I'm growing on this Drew McIntyre. He's had to.
I love the way this whole angle has turned out because, to be honest, you can look at Drew one of two ways, just like you're saying right now. You could look at him and be like, hey, I'm Team Drew because he's the one that's getting screwed.
I mean, if I was him, I would have smacked the crap out of Adam Pearce again. You're suspending me indefinitely? I'll do it again right in your face.
Well, I think that's ultimately what was going to happen, but then Seth's music hits. And you brought Seth in. Why?
Let's not go back to Seth
saving Adam Pearce.
That is a good question. Why is he saving him?
What did Drew do to Seth?
Money in the Bank? He cashed it in, made it a triple threat match?
I guess if you want to go that far, yeah, sure, yes.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I guess.
You got to go ahead and...
There we go. Let's throw it in there. There we go. There it is.
I do feel kind of, intrigued as to why is Seth defending Adam Pearce. I don't understand that, but he's not teamed like WWE or something like that. Makes no sense. Why is he saving him?
I wanted to see him get the Claymore. I really did.
Who on Adam Pearce?
Yes.
Hell yeah, that would have been badass.
When he was like, you're still suspended. I wanted Drew just to take a quick spin, one step, and then launch the Claymore.
Oh, that would have been badass. And not only that, but when he hits the Claymore, Adam Pearce goes over the ropes.
Yeah. Listen, I know he used to be able to take those bumps. I don't know how long it's been since he's taken a bump like that, but.
If Paul Heyman can go through a table.
Yes, but Paul Heyman had 4 guys picking him up to put him through the table. Adam Pearce has got to take the kick to the face and then make it to the ropes and over him.
Well, the only reason I think he could make over the ropes because he was in the middle. He wasn't on the turnbuckle. He was more towards the middle. So that's why I said he could go over the ropes.
It depends how Drew hit him. But that would depend on how Drew would hit him too. So.
True.
All right, so that's the WWE portion. I think we covered everything WWE wise, pretty much, right?
Wyatt, Chad Gable, Sammy, Braun, and all that.
That was just more about the triple threats at SummerSlam because I just didn't understand why you're doing the CM Punk Drew Seth if you're already doing Sammy, Dragunov, and Braun. But as you said, hey, let's go all AEW on everybody and just put everybody in the pay-per-view. Everybody's got to get there.
Do you agree with them going with this whole Dragunov Braun Breaker situation, especially since we saw this. Not everybody, but if you're an NXT fan, this is all NXT. You saw this already.
And I feel like this is the easy way. Braun Breaker spears Dragunov out of his boots. Sammy gets rid of Braun Breaker, pins Dragunov, and retains the title, but he doesn't have to beat Braun Breaker again. Braun Breaker doesn't get pinned. He's still upset. Now you can run it back again if you want. In Atlanta, Braun Breaker's hometown, he wins the Intercontinental title.
By then,
his dad's in the town. Everybody's everywhere. Oh, it's written in the stars.
Look at that. We're already predicting everything. Now let's go to something that we can't predict because it's just all crazy. The blood, everybody bleeding. As a matter of fact, let me go for like a split second and let me go cut myself and then come back bleeding because we're talking AEW now, sir.
So we have to sit here bleeding while we talk AEW. Let's do it.
Can you believe that they had 3 different wrestlers bleed on that show on Dynamite? Like I saw that and I was like, come on, man. Like they feel like they're trying so hard.
Who was the third?
Well, you had Bryan Danielson who was bleeding.
I knew Bryan Danielson. I know Tony Storm. Who was the third? I'm sorry. I don't know.
There was one more. Oh man, I forgot who it was. It was 3 people.
Was it 3? Okay. No, I'm sorry. I don't remember everything.
Hold on, let me look it up.
It's becoming every match thing on there now where the blood doesn't even like that's the farthest thing from my and let me be honest, man. The Dynamites have been good wrestling wise, entertainment wise, inside the ropes. Yes, they've gotten better entertainment wise, but still, like my problem is this. This weekend or this week, tomorrow night, actually, I'm sorry. Tomorrow night is the 250th episode of Dynamite. And last week, they did a global 4-way match, which was Ichi, Kyle Fletcher, Pac, and Claudio. And then during the match, did you hear what they said?
No, what did they say?
The winner of this match faces the international champion at All In.
Oh, Lord.
Because I was thinking, there's no way they're doing MJF versus Will Ospreay on Dynamite this week. That's going to get layered out, right? No. The winner of that match versus Pac at All In. Also this week on Dynamite, Swerve Strickland versus Okada, champion versus champion. And then I saw something that Dave Meltzer put out there where he feels that they're doing this the next couple weeks because they're trying to solidify rating numbers for the TV rights deals. And I thought all of that was kind of right. Everybody's saying Tony Khan's not worried about the TV rights deals. Everything's good. And now all of a sudden you've got the 250th episode, which is a milestone. It's a good milestone. But MJF, Ospreay, Swerve, Okada, I believe Mercedes Moné is talking. So you got to believe Britt Baker's going to be involved in there. Like you're just weeks away from a pay-per-view.
You ask, and I will go ahead and show you right here. There it is, sir. That's the card right there. Look at that, 250.
There you go, yeah.
All those people who are going to be fighting.
Actually, Mercedes Moné is actually fighting Nyla Rose. I'm sorry, yeah.
Yep.
I'm glad they're doing a TV time with Jericho. That's pretty cool.
I think that was the other match. I'm not sure. I don't know if it was Samoa Joe who was bleeding. I know he went through the wall.
Oh, yes, you're right. He was bleeding. He was. I don't know if it was like supposed to bleed or not, but I think one of the boards got him because it was just running down the back of his ear area.
Why would you put this 250 and go all out with the top two
because
fights on
I believe Meltzer is onto something. It's for the TV rights deals.
Jesus. Do you think they crack at least 800 people watching the show?
If they don't, they're in trouble, bro.
It's a good card.
Let me rephrase this. They're not in trouble, but they might not get the money they want for the TV rights deal.
Yeah. It could be.
So I wrote down the numbers last week for the ratings for last week. Okay. Dynamite ended up with a 691. It started with an 819. The best watches were the first two segments, which was Hangman and Danielson, 725, 722. As soon as the match ended, it dropped to 663.
You know what followed after that, right? That was that Swerve Strickland promo.
Yeah. Then after that, it was the whole Bryan Danielson getting the trophy into the Swerve Strickland promo.
Wait, before you continue, why did they give Bryan Danielson an Owen Hart championship belt?
That's what the winner of the tournament gets. You get a belt and the trophy.
So they always get a belt.
Always get the belt. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. It was the belt with the pink leather on the back and all that. You know what I thought was kind of, and again, it is what it is, but the baby faces were wearing the Owen Hart gear. If you watch Bryan Danielson, he was in the pink and black kind of the Owen Hart stuff, and then Willow was in the Danger that he wore in Nation of Domination. So, you know, it is what it is, I guess. But like, I feel like everybody should be throwing out the tributes to Owen if that's what it's going to be. Like, I feel like it's the tournament's in his name, you know. Then the interesting thing was the lowest on the card. Well, not the lowest, but the main event got a 640. But at 10 o'clock, when the show was supposed to be over, it shot up to a 695 for the 3-minute overrun, which was Mariah May beating the crap out of Toni Storm.
Maybe they were coming in to watch whatever comes after.
Yeah, there's the Survivor show comes on, I think, after.
Maybe that's why they were all going to tune in the Survivor show.
Yep. SmackDown.
You know what? You want to know what? You want to know what was dumb in that Dynamite show? That I thought, I hate when they do this. They had the Acclaim do like that rap video. That was so dumb. Like, I'm tired of that crap.
Trying to do something with them, man, to build up to that match. I believe I'm going to give you my proposed card right now for All In at the end here, because it's like, look at the Dynamite what you just saw. You got Swerve against Okada. You've got MJF versus Ospreay, Mercedes Moné versus Nyla. I'm sure they'll add a couple matches there. To keep going, NXT ended up with a 656 last week. They started with the 735. Their highest rated was Tony D'Angelo, Lexis King, End of the Rascals. Joe Hendry pulled the second largest, the 638 to 649.
Damn,
their 7-minute overrun went up with Joe Hendry and everything on there. SmackDown did a 2.35. The Raw just happened yesterday was a 1.669.
Wow, that was kind of low.
It went down from last week was 1.7.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they dropped a lot near the end. Like it's the same thing that's always happened with Raw. That 10 to 11 hour just drops.
I mean, it's 3 hours of wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, it goes from they had it was 1.7s, 1.7s, 1.6, and they got to 1.5 at one point in the 11 o'clock. And
were they going up against anything? The Republican convention
yesterday and stuff like that, but nothing major. No,
the Republican convention.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think most people that are watching that probably not necessarily. You know, again, it's one of those things. Like I don't look, man. They just didn't. They've been averaging about 1.5 to 1.7 is where they've been fluctuating each week.
Okay,
going up and down there. That's where they're going to stay at because that's where they're at. Just like, you know, again, I think Dynamite should stay between 8 and 1. Like that should be their range to me. I don't expect them to be like, you know, but you were having consistent 1s and 9s, and now you're struggling to get 6s. Like, you know, it's
two reasons for that, man. Obviously, the sports, the poor storytelling, and number 2, you're seeing a lot of these matches over and over again.
Well, that's the thing. Once you do a match, it's like, okay, we saw it now. Now what do you do? That's the problem with not having the stories. Like the matches are great, but after you do them, then what?
100%.
And also, I don't feel that they have. Let me rephrase. I feel that they have conditioned their fans to be like, okay, the match is over. Boom, you dropped 60,000 as soon as the Hangman match ended. You're telling me they're not tuning in for just matches? That's what they're conditioned to do. It's just like WWE fans. Most of them are not conditioned to be as rowdy as the international crowds or the AEW crowds.
It's just.
And by the way, last night, USA did not edit the "you fucked up" chants during Chad Gable. I don't know if you heard it. They did not censor it.
First movement to the rated R version, right? Because they're eventually going to go to. They're going to get out of PG-13. I feel that AEW just is always searching for hits by putting these big matches together.
It's Tony Khan putting out his own little wrestling card that he can control. That's what I want to see this match. So that's what I'm going to get.
Like, why would you put, and it's, I believe,
and
it says it here. Hold on. It says it here. Kicking off Dynamite, the AEW International Championship. Yeah. And I think it's a 1 hour without commercial, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, okay, so great. Are they going to go for the whole hour? They might. There's only 3 matches announced.
Why would you? I know you're trying to get ratings, but man, that's a match that you put it all in, man. That's not a match that you put.
The whole thing. Now, I mean, real quick. This is right now the all-in card. Okay, the matches we know for sure is Swerve Danielson, Storm May, which we'll talk about more. Yes. It looks like it's going to be Monet against Britt.
Yes.
Pac will take on the winner of Ospreay MJF. I get these are the ones I'm kind of guessing. Okada's probably going to defend his title. The Young Bucks are probably going to verse the Acclaimed, I'm guessing, for the titles. And then the Ospreay MJF loser is definitely going to have a match. I mean, you're not keeping Ospreay off the card, and you're not keeping MJF off the card. So one of them will have to find somebody to face.
Probably in the undercard, you're probably going to have the Bullet Club Gold. Now that they vacated their trios belts and they added Juice Robinson, because I guess Jay White is out, against Christian Cage, Nick Wade.
Yeah, the patriarch. Yep.
Yeah. And then the only other match I could assume that they might put in there is I don't know how they cannot have that the Jericho tree somewhere involved with the Joe with Samoa Joe.
Tree will the Hook.
Yeah, there has to be something. It might be
Taz. Taz is going to get involved in this somehow. I don't know how, but like he's been barred the last 2 weeks from TV because Jericho went to the EVP. So at some point, Taz gets into this. I don't know how, or if he'll be in the ring. I don't know if it'll just be in the corner. I don't know, but he will be involved. And will it be just Hook against Jericho for the FTW title? Remember, last year it was Jack Perry versus Hook for the FTW title. Yeah, that's what started the whole shebang.
They find out again. There's a lot of people that they're leaving out. They're leaving out, obviously, Jack Perry. If they don't, they'll probably find a way to put Jack Perry in that.
I mean, again, that right there is only 7 matches. So you got to think there's another 5 they're going to add. At 12, yeah, 12 to 14.
They're so crazy. They keep adding so many matches. They'll probably add everybody.
Here's an interesting note that I saw doing some research for All In. Last year, they said there was 81,035. Turnstile was a little under 73,000. However you want to do it. Everybody inflates their numbers. WWE, AEW, WCW, any promotion is going to inflate their numbers. So whatever it was around 73 to 80,000 people. Do you know what the setup for this year is?
How much?
51,000.
This is for?
All In.
In the Wembley?
Yep.
Well, remember, they got screwed over because they're gonna have Tay perform like right out, like so they gotta get the hell out of there quickly.
Yeah,
So they probably did
for
that.
51,000. And guess what? Remember, last year they put the tickets on sale in like 10 seconds. They were over like what, 70,000?
Mm-hmm.
They're now at 40,964. There's still 10,000 seats available. AEW saying the number is at 45,000. WrestleTix is saying it's 41,000 basically.
So they need 10, like about 10 more thousand to be
10,000.
sold.
So they'll get there. They should probably get there, depending on what. But again, I don't know that those matches are appealing, man.
For such a like their WrestleMania type of vibes.
Well, that's the thing. Like I felt they would make this their WrestleMania. I don't feel like they're doing that.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing because if you put MJF versus Osprey would be a fight that should be in there, not on the 250 episode. Swerve Strickland and Bryan Danielson. Okay, that holds up. That's not a bad fight. I'm assuming that they probably would have to. I hope they bring Ricochet. They would probably make him.
You know what? That's probably who will face Okada. Okada Ricochet.
Yeah, they put like maybe like a special, a special.
And they got this new guy coming in too, by the way. The mask guy from AAA. I think he's AAA or CMLL. They just signed him. They gave him. I forgot his name now. Damn it. But they've been showing the rating. Like they show his mask, and then like he jumps through this time warp thing, and so he's gonna be making his debut.
He's warping into AEW. Yeah. I mean, I would say like a mysterious wrestler versus Okada, and it would be obviously Ricochet being there. That would be pretty cool.
I can't believe they haven't brought him out yet, though. Like I don't know what they're waiting for. Like to me, that's
is it official that they signed him?
I haven't heard either way, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've heard nothing either way. Like it's gone like quiet on Ricochet.
I mean, I'm sorry, Ricochet, but I just be tuning into Samantha Irvin's post because man, she's been risque the last couple of posts she's been putting out there. I don't know.
Man left her by herself on the road. You gotta do something.
Risque out there, bro. Check out her post. If you don't follow her, man. She is putting some.
No, Samantha Irvin's been doing the announcing on Raw. No doubt. So speaking of Ricochet, did Samantha Irvin leave WWE? I've seen a different announcer out there the last 2 weeks. No, she did Raw.
She was there yesterday.
Yeah, she did it the week before too because they showed a thing of her watching Dom and Liv, and then when Rhea's music hit, she was like, "Yeah, that's my woman."
Yeah.
No, she's been there. It's just she's not like she doesn't have the Chelsea Green hasn't been on the show, so she hasn't been like Chelsea Green.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even do that, man. Oh. And then I want to ask you about this, man, because we all figured Mariah May is turning on Toni Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they rushed it a little bit?
They could have done it maybe like 2 weeks before All In.
See, I think they should have done it at All In.
Nah. Because you want to set the fight between them two.
No, but see, that's where again, this is where to me, and you're right with what AEW, SmackDown. Samantha Irvin doesn't do SmackDown. They replaced the SmackDown announcer to NXT, and then the NXT woman went to do SmackDown. That's been the change. Minus Toronto. For some reason, the gentleman was back on going to Toronto. But the lady who used to do NXT is now SmackDown announcer or SmackDown ring announcer, and Samantha Irvin's only on Raw. But when they do the pay-per-views, she's been doing the whole weekend. So maybe you caught her when they did the Money in the Bank weekend. I think she does all of it. And because she does the whole pay-per-view by herself too, as well. So, but there's two. There is a different one. I forgot her name though. So I felt again, this is not what AEW does. And again, not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, but to me, like you could have left it gray. Let them cheer for who they want. Do they want Mariah May? do they want Toni Storm? You ultimately know Mariah May is going to snap and bust open Toni Storm. I think it would have been so much more if that happens at All In. And now it's Toni Storm losing the title, losing Mariah May, and bleeding, at the end of the match, or however you wanted to do it there. Maybe during the match she busts her open, and then at the end of the match she's the bloody mess and everything, like she took everything. And now then you have the second part of Timeless Toni Storm, where now she's got to get the happy ending and go back after Mariah May. I just feel like they're rushing this so much to where, like, I feel like Toni Storm wins at All In, not Mariah May.
I thought they went a little bit too excessive with the bleeding of Toni Storm. I don't think they had to go that route, but it's AEW.
Although I did like the shoe, watch the shoe, and it was the shoe that busted, supposedly busted her open with the thing. And I did not understand why Luther had to go through a table.
Because of AEW, you're just gonna throw somebody randomly into a table. As a matter of fact, talking about tables, didn't you have something proposed to me about something about going through a table? You mentioned something like that last week.
I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what the whole thing was.
Think about it. But yeah, I remember you.
I should have wrote it down. I do. I remember saying something about it, but I can't remember what the stipulation was going to be. Damn it.
I'm glad it wasn't, if Columbia loses, you have to go through a table, because then I would have had to go through a table.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that like the week before. I mean, we'd have to build up. There's got to be, because we got to get the table. We got to do the video shoot of it and all that stuff so we can have it. I will go through a table when the Dolphins win a playoff game. And I'll go through a table with thumbtacks if they win the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow. Okay, so who's going to put you through the table?
Whoever. We'll let fans pick whatever. We put up a truck with a table. You guys power bomb me through.
Can you still take a power bomb through a table? At this
man.
Stage, are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You throw me through a table.
Wait a minute. Oh man. That's right. It was. If Columbia wins, I go through a table. If Columbia loses, it was left open. We did bet on Columbia, but we never picked your bet, so we're good. You're safe. You're safe.
How about we do this? Since you want to put somebody through a table?
No, I'm just throwing it out there because I don't mind it. It's very simple. Boom.
I don't mind.
It's actually safe. No, I'm not doing safe. I'm not going to Chelsea Green. I'm not climbing to a top of a ladder and going through a table. I'll fall back off of the back of a truck and then through it, or have somebody pick me up and put me through it. Yes.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm afraid that if you throw me to a table, something's gonna happen to my back. So you gotta let me know how this works. Going
what happens is this: when the table's there, right? You hit it, it like stops your fall, and then you break it through. That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, we gotta come up with something that would say, okay, if I lose, then I go through the table, and if you lose,
what we need to do? This is what we need to start doing, man. We're going to figure out a way. I think there's like an app or something on the computer to where like you hit a button and it picks who picks whatever. And we need to do like the wrestling card.
Okay.
And put our name, who picks. So then that way, say it lands on me and I say, okay, Damian Priest beats Gunther. I get Damian Priest, you get Gunther. So one of us has to win, one of us has to lose. And then at the end of the PLE or pay-per-view, the loser has to do something like the Wheel of Death or whatever type thing.
I'm down to do it for SummerSlam. Why not?
We can do it on different pay-per-views. I need to find an app though that makes that happen.
All right.
What do you think? Chat and on X too. And if you're watching anywhere, if you're watching it after it's podcasted, send things that we should have to do.
Wait, hold on. Another thing.
Let the fans choose what our punishments will be.
I also want to hear this from the fans. Who would you prefer to go through a table? Would you prefer Sean or you would prefer me to go through a table? Now that I'm interested even more as to who.
Oh, I think you're gonna win that one. I think they want to see you go through a table.
Why would the fans want to see me?
Why do
go
they
through
want
a
to see
table?
me go through a table? I'm the
Because I'm fat too. Nobody's seen you throw through a
I'm
table.
bald.
I'm bald too. I don't have any hair.
God, you're just trying to be like me now.
I am, except I don't want to go through a table. or hit me with one of those chairs. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to take a metal chair to the back.
That I don't have a problem doing that. I mean, I don't.
Those hurt worse than the damn.
Really? They do? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even know that. I mean, I don't have any
Because
wrestling.
the chair doesn't always flat. If you don't hit it flat, you get the oh. Man, it's been many days where I'm like, ooh, adrenaline's going during the match. You finish, and then afterwards you're like, oh, there it is. You're eating after the match, and you're like, there's that chair shot.
All we gotta make sure is if anybody throws me through a table that weekend, I'm not like DJing or have an event. Because if I
light the table on fire and throw you through it.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Flaming table.
That would be. I don't know. That would be the first and last thing I would ever do. I can't picture myself going through a flaming table. Jesus Christ, burn myself. And knowing my clumsy self, I'll probably
the whole show painted face like a road warrior or the Ultimate Warrior. One of the whole show, you have to do it that way, face paint.
That would be insane.
I think that's what we should do. Just little things like that, like they used to do with the Grid of Death. I think Tobin and Leroy did it, and I know Levitard used to do it, but theirs was kind of like the football helmets, right? Whatever they did, he picked them. He had to do a thing, but yeah, so we have to do that.
I'm gonna put a poll on my X account. Who would you prefer to see go through a table? And then next week I'll reveal who.
No Doubt said get an independent outfit involved. No Doubt, you're the independent outfit. We pick you.
We need a guest referee.
And Cap. We'll get Cap and No Doubt. We'll have a enforcer and a referee. Who wants to do the ring announcing? We'll get Samantha Irvin to come in and do the ring announcing. How about that?
Hell yeah, that would be badass. It would be amazing. I like her.
We'll get the CCW announcers. We'll do that. Let's do that. Let's get the ring announcer from them. We'll make
can we get CCW and coordinate a way for us for either you or myself to get put through a table at a CCW event? Is that possible?
Yeah, I'm sure if we buy the table and set it up, yeah, they'll do it. We'll throw you through a table.
Oh, sweet.
I'm sure Nelia would love to throw you through a table.
You know what? That would be interesting. That would be very interesting. Very interesting. We'll see. I guess only time will tell. We got to figure out a way. But yeah, we could do it SummerSlam, find out who has the better picks, and whoever loses has to go to the table.
Yeah, but I think the fair way of doing it is to get like an app or something, and then, again, because if every time it's you. But if we have an app do it, then the person or we can alternate. So we do heads or tails. Okay, you get the first pick. Who are you picking? Okay, I'm going to take the heavyweight title match, and I'm taking this one. Okay, then I get the next pick on the card.
You know what we could do? I got an idea. We do that for the next two big pay-per-views because we got SummerSlam and we got All In.
Okay.
And then we make a decision. We tally up the score to see who had the most picks correct, and then we make that whoever loses goes to the table.
Yeah.
Now, since you have experience of going to the table, we need to ante up the throwing through the table. Like there has to. Like for me, it's okay for me to be thrown in the table.
I gotta go through a table, like 4 tables. I mean, what?
No. But we could probably put
No Doubt giving us this Thanksgiving table. I mean, how many tables we gonna have this guy give us? I mean, the family's gonna have no Thanksgiving dinner now.
We do with like thumbtacks or something on top of the table, like what you were doing for the Miami Dolphins if they won a Super Bowl or went to a Super Bowl or something like that.
Yeah, and also I think I gotta wrestle NorCal in a match. I gotta start doing burpees for that as well. At halftime of the Super Bowl, if the Dolphins make it, we're gonna do a match.
How big is NorCal?
I don't know. I have no idea, man. No idea.
Now let me ask you this: if I was to put you through a table, am I able to lift you up and put you through a table?
We'll probably have to get like let's back up the truck and
Do I have to? Maybe you could spring off the rope and like I could throw you or something.
I might have to spring off the rope a lot for you to throw me through the table.
Yeah, because you know what? You know what? I'll start working out, man. I got you. I'm gonna start lifting
Hey,
some
you
weight.
got till what? All in is what?
At the end of August.
Okay,
August
so SummerSlam is
August
the
20
beginning of
August
August. So SummerSlam is the beginning of August, All in the end of August. So by September, we'll know who's going through the table.
Jesus Christ. No, I'm scared. I don't know what will happen. Imagine me going through a table. I told my mom the other day, I was like, I think Sean wants to throw me through a table.
This is what we need to do.
And she was like, Frankie, just be careful.
We need to feel, and then we need to spin the punishment, and it could be a number of things. Shot with a paintball, put through a table, and everything else. Like we can get No Doubt to come out and shoot us with a paintball, cap for life.
They used to do that in the DJ Last show.
Yeah.
Back in the day, if I'm not mistaken, that's how my friend Al, he got if you go on YouTube or anything like that, you'll see he got picked, and the Big Al's a big boy, so he had to take off his shirt, and they were pegging him with eggs without a shirt, bro. That thing is hilarious. If you Google it, just put Big Al, DJ Laz, throwing eggs without a shirt, and it'll populate. I'm pretty sure it'll be funny as hell. I mean, I cracked up. I was like, wow, I can't believe. I told my friend, I was like, I can't believe you did that. He's like, I don't know. I was young and stupid. I was like,
I'm old and stupid, so we'll do it. If it makes people laugh and entertain, I'm all for it, man. I don't care. I love those stupid things.
We still got to do the bowling too.
Yeah.
We haven't done the bowling. Now that I'll probably win. I'm actually a good bowler. But
I don't think you would beat me bowling, but that's okay.
Sir, you don't
when
know
I'm
me.
done, I'll slide you down the alley.
Oh, after the bowling is over, we have a match in the bowling alley. That would be
Anything
so cool.
goes. Anything goes. I'll take you to the snack bar and run you right through.
That would be so badass.
I'm never doing burpees in NorCal. Never. That's definitely not going to happen.
It's about lunges, Frankie. Yeah, I guess so, bro. I don't know. I gotta work. Now you're making me do some work. I only play soccer.
All right, we got a lot. I got to come up with a thing, and then what we need to do? We need to get it sponsored and do it like at wherever we're at, like something there, and just like make a big thing of it. I'm trying to, and let me throw it out to you, Cap for Life, No Doubt, and everybody else that's watching. Is there any place you think that would be able to have us for like a watch party for WWE? It's a Peacock. WWE AEW might be a little bit different because you have to pay for the license of the pay-per-view, but WWE's on Peacock. So you can get a smart TV. We can log in, do a watch party. Anybody know a area that we can go and maybe do a watch party, do a pre and post from there as well? Just ideas if you know of any place. I mean, I know the big name places. I reached out to one. They were okay with it, but looking at the logistics of it when I went there, I don't know how we do it. So
well, I did the over the weekend. I did the Grand Centenario Copa America show, and we did it at Mega Wine and Spirits. I think that's the name of it, in Doral, which is close to that Doral City Place area. And in the back, there's a lounge. I don't know how much it cost, but there's a big lounge with a big screen TV, like huge. I'm pretty sure you could probably tell them, yo, put a Peacock right there and watch the wrestling matches. And I think, I did ask the lady, I was like, how much do you charge for like to rent the space? But it's really nice. I would have to ask her. But that one was a cool little spot, and it's kind of like in the middle. Like everybody, like in the route, it's not too far from you. It's not too far from me. I'm pretty sure it's close. It's kind of like somewhere in the middle, you know?
Well, that's my goal by next year.
I'll make
next year I want to have shows.
For life.
If not before. But
all I know,
I definitely want to do something for WrestleMania. If we're not at WrestleMania, I want to be doing a huge shindig.
If I'm going through a table, I need Cap for Life and No Doubt on my back. They're both my My road dog's behind.
No.
me,
We're gonna have them. They're gonna put you through the table.
No. They can't put me through the
They're
table.
doing the shield power bomb through the table.
Those are my allies. They're the ones
They're
helping me
turning
out.
on you for this.
Oh Lord.
We're gonna run a whole angle. We're gonna run a whole storyline.
That'd be pretty cool.
Cat for Life comes on here and acts
What
like it's your friend.
What would take
Talks
us?
nice to you.
What
And
would
then he
take?
sneaks up behind you and power bombs you through a table.
What would take us to put Big O through a table?
Big O ain't going through the table. You'd have to trip him and push him through the table.
And then he'll be mad at us. He'll block us. He'll be like, "Oh, Frankie, get out of here! You're out of here, Frankie."
I would no longer be executive producer of the Big O Show, probably.
You won't see Frankie anymore. He'll block me. He'll block me like you block Cat for Life. Cat,
Yeah.
we miss you, bro. We miss you, bro.
That's right. I forgot about that.
It hasn't been the same since he blocked you, my friend. So
I'm just happy you're here, Cat.
Yeah, man.
We love
all
you.
respect. We love Cat for Life, bro.
We do. Frankie, let them know where they can get you, my man.
Man, you can find me at Fresco Music on all social media platforms, and then on the YouTube, Frankie Fresco. Like I said, tomorrow we're gonna talk about what happened on Sunday. I was live. I was there. I took videos. I have photos. I'm gonna be showing all that with my brother on the Let Me Talk to You episode. I think Let Me Talk to You episode 32. I think it's 32. I gotta look. I gotta see what was the last one I did. But every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, we're bringing it back. Obviously, we stopped because of the two World Cup games that we had. Copa America games that we had. So now we're back, and we're gonna talk about the Dolphins. We got some footage of some guys out there training, warming up, getting better. We'll talk a little bit about the Olympics. They're starting off, and then next week? I think the Olympics start next week. So
I think it's the 20th. Yeah. So next week, I think it's 20th or 23rd or something like that.
But we could talk about the Olympics, find out what's going on, who we're rooting for, talk about the NBA, how the NBA players are doing in these exhibition games, and realize if they're actually pretty good or if they're just cakewalking it and they're gonna lose and not actually win the gold medal. We got a lot of things to talk about, man. It's sports, baby. With sports, and of course, like I said, most of the NXT. We're gonna talk NXT. Obviously, we gotta see what's going on with over there. Should be fun, man. Tune in tomorrow, 8 o'clock.
Definitely. And then tomorrow night, I will be back on the Stanley Media House Network YouTube channel breaking down AEW Dynamite, which apparently episode 250. It's going to be a banger, explosive. But also, I'll have a NXT recap that'll come out sometime tomorrow because after this, I'm a little tired. I'm going to go to sleep. I don't know if you can tell by my eyes, but that's why I've been looking at Frankie.
Sleepy Joe.
Eyes are bloodshot, boy. Woo.
Sleepy Joe vibes. Actually, you know what? We might even talk about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
We might even talk about
WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump, by the way.
Gotta talk about Donald Trump after almost getting assassinated. That's crazy. Yep. You know, one thing that was crazy is that the whole situation of the Copa America actually kind of outshined Donald Trump getting shot because the news was everything about
it took it out of the news cycle. Yeah,
it did.
A little bit. Yeah.
Maybe it was planned. Maybe they talked to all those people in the Hard Rock Stadium and said, "Yo, let them break in. That way we could get the attention out of Donald Trump." Conspiracy theories.
Let me talk to you tomorrow. You can get me at Sean_Stanley11. I'm on X, IG, Threads, TikTok, and then Stanley Media House Network YouTube channel and on Facebook. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in today. We go through it's Cat for Life, no doubt. My dad, Terry. We have got Josh was in earlier. What up, Sean and Frankie? The Trapio was in. I did not see that earlier.
The Trapio making
will beat Rhea in SummerSlam. Okay. All right. Well, appreciate everybody that's on X watching us. Don't forget, please jump over to the YouTube side. Subscribe to Stanley Media House Network YouTube channel. Also the Frankie Fresco YouTube channel. We are here every Tuesday night, 7 p.m., talking the week that was WWE and AEW. On the Stanley Media House Network YouTube channel, you'll get also the breakdown, the recaps of the shows as they end. We go live and we discuss that. Every once in a while, Frankie will jump in, but if not, sometimes he's in the comments just nagging me. Just snagging me. This guy always does
just pissing you off.
That's it. Just rubbing in like whatever it is. All right, Frankie. Anything else, my man?
Now, man, we're good. We're excited about 250. It's kind of like a pay-per-view on a Wednesday, right? So
yeah, that's the way it's been going, right?
Sometimes you got to go big or go home, my friend.
Go big, go home. What is the plan for AEW? In the words of the great Gordon Soley, so long from the Sunshine State.